Shauna. So apostille, what is it? How does it work? What do you do like to become one? Basically, the reason why everybody is like, if you're a notary, you can become a apostille is because these apostille forms, or apostles, like people really want to call it, they require notarization. So that's why they say, if you're a notary, just become an apostille too, because the forms require notarization. So apostille, what is it? Give us a simple explanation that don't take 40 minutes to tell us. Apostille is basically a form where this form is only used in foreign countries, meaning if anybody call you up and say, hey, I need an apostille in Texas, you're gonna be like, no, there's no such thing as apostles or apostilles in Texas. These are only forms you can use in other countries that's not in the United States. So these forms would look like, maybe somebody is moving to a different country, residency in another country. Maybe somebody's being married in another country. Maybe you're adopting a kid from another country. These are the reasons why you would need apostilles for these documents. Now, the way this works, how you do the whole apostille thing, apostille is not like, oh, I'm a notary who do apostilles. Apostilles is its own thing. You don't have to be a notary to do apostilles. Basically, the service is somebody come to you, I need an apostille. Okay, what I do is take this form that you need, apostille. It's weird to say it like that, but you got to have that document signed and notarized. Then you send that document to the Secretary of State, but there's also a form you got to send with it. A request form, basically. Make sure you get your Secretary of State request form. Then you send it to the Secretary of State. You give them the reason why you need this form apostilled or certified or authorized. You give them the origin, the state of origin, like where is this document coming from? You should always start in your state before you venture out in other states. Say I'm in Texas, so I'll be like, this form originated in Texas, and then now this form is going to South Korea. So basically you tell them where it came from, where is it going, and why you need it. That's how apostille work. You're like, huh, okay, I think I kind of get it. From there, you're like, well, where does the fees come in? Like, if all I have to do is send this form to the Secretary of State. Here's the thing about sending to the Secretary of State, okay? So there's two ways you can send it to the Secretary of State. First, you can actually drive to your Secretary of State. In Texas, the Secretary of State is located in Austin. I'm in Houston, so that's like a 2.5 hour drive. So if the person is like, I want it today, well, then you're gonna have to pay me today prices to drive up there to Austin, Texas, you know? Okay, so if it's not, they don't want it today, then you can mail it in. Now, when mailing it in, you need to make sure you check what carriers are preferred for your Secretary of State in your state. For instance, like in Texas, it might be UPS, right? So if you send it, you never want, I wouldn't say you never want to send it by US Postal Service, but you know the US Postal Service is kind of slow. So say if their preferred is UPS, but I sent it via FedEx, it might take longer because their preferred service provider, mailing service provider, might not be FedEx. So they'll put it in the FedEx pile and wait to get there and focus on their preferred pile. You know what I'm saying? You also want to check if your Secretary of State allows expedited shipping. For instance, if I expedite it like next day or tonight it over to the Secretary of State, they might not expedite it back to me, you know? Typically, the average wait time is about 10 days for them to process a document. And when I say process, make sure you send the correct documents. Don't like, oh, say I have a form, I have the actual form I need to authorize, and then I just send that over or send it over with a cover letter. You gotta make sure all the, like, there's usually a document on your Secretary of State website saying, okay, you print out that document, you fill in that, basically not an application, but kind of like an application. Where's it from? Where's it going? Why you need it? Da, 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 da. Like all that information they ask for, you attach it with your document that you need apostilled, and you send it off to Secretary of State, whether you drive there or you mail it there, right? Now, the way the fees come in, the way you can charge, typically apostilles make anywhere from $100 to $200, you know, based on how many, say that's for one document, $100 to $200. If they want more documents to be, you know, authorized or apostilled, you would add another one. Like, say if I charge them, I'm gonna charge you $150 to do this apostille for this document. They'll be like, well, I have 2 documents. Well, I'll charge you $200 for both, you know, that kind of thing. way you can break down your fees, no, you never, I wouldn't say you never want to, but never say if you have a notary website and you also say I'm an apostille, say on your notary website you put your fees, because typically notary fees are kind of the same across the board. You can't really upcharge on notary fees. So say you're like, okay, I'm gonna put my apostille fees on the website. You don't want to do that because everyone has different circumstances. For instance, if say someone is like, I want the apostille tomorrow, I need it by tomorrow, or you're like, well, I think the office is usually open from 8 to 5, Secretary of State office. So say if you're like, well, it's 11 o'clock now, well, I could make it to Austin. It would take 2.5 hours there, 2.5 hours back. Just focus on there. Takes 2.5 hours. I could make it there on time before their office closed, but that's a 2.5 hour drive. You're gonna have to pay me travel fees and expedited fees. So that's the reason why you don't want to put your website, put your prices on your website, because if you put it on a website, it's set in stone and that's the price you have to go by. So typically it's a by case basis. They're like, we're not pressed to get it. Whatever the fee is, we'll pay. You're like, okay, since I just send it by mail, I'm gonna charge you my normal notary fee if you're a notary. If you're not a notary, you're just gonna have to hire a notary or go get the document notarized. But if you're a notary, that's the plus. You can just notarize it yourself, but you still charge your notary fee because you're the one notarizing it. Then you can charge filing fees because, you know, to file it with the Secretary of State, of course, they gotta make their little money. So you put all that into the fees of what you're gonna charge your client or whatever. So that's what apostille is, a document that needs to be processed through the Secretary of State for a foreign country. This is not a document that would ever be used in the United States, only in countries or that's not here. You know, you get what I'm saying. Another thing before I go is that if you ever do mail your document to the Secretary of State, you need to make sure you pay attention to all the requirements, because for instance, here in Texas, they do not mail it back to you unless you include a self-addressed stamped letter in your little thing. If you mail it, like, there needs to be a stamped addressed letter in your packet when you send it off. That way they can, because they're not planning to pay for postage. They're not like, okay, they sent it to us and we're gonna process it, we're gonna apply our own postage and mail it to you. No, you better have a self-addressed letter in your form, in your little packet that's already stamped. This is stuff you gotta pay attention to. The reason why I say you wanna make sure you start, well, not make sure, but you wanna probably start. I heard somebody say about me clapping my hands, that's just how I roll, but hands down. Okay, but you wanna make sure you do everything right, because the last thing you wanna do is send something off and then it gets rejected and sent back to you, and then you're like, oh, you gotta tell your client, oh, I'm sorry, we have to do this again because it was rejected for whatever reason, because a mistake you made, not the client, but you made. You gotta make sure everything is filled out correctly. Yeah, that's kind of basically what apostille is. It's not something too complicated. It's something you can make a business out of. It's not really my jam. I never really got into it. It's not really my vibes. It's a whole lot of waiting, processing, getting documents together, sending them off, making sure everything is correct, waiting to send it back. I mean, you could make some good money, but if you know anything about loan signings, which majority of you do, it's a faster process on the loan signing end versus just the apostille thing. But it's less complicated than a loan signing and less nerve-wracking, because it's less paperwork. It's a quick, okay, thank you, notarize, send it off, wait for it to come in. Here you go, here's your document, your apostille, go take care of what you gotta take care of. Now, when you're doing the apostille as a notary apostille or whatever, it's not like you're certifying any of these documents. It's not your job to make sure these documents, whatever they're giving you, is correct, or when I say correct, you're not authorizing whatever on this document is factual or anything. All your job is, okay, I see this document, signed it, notarized it, send it off to them. Secretary of State, if they ever reject it, they'll tell you the reason why they rejected it. If it's nothing on your end, it's something about their document, you let them know, have them change it, fix it up. You can charge them another fee if they want to send it through you again and you send it off. That's basically how it works. I'm out. Hopefully you kind of understand what apostille is, and if that's your jam and you want to get into it, it's not really my thing, but it could be your thing, and I'm out.